When you buy Kroger brand products, you feel like you're winning. That's because they offer proven quality at lower than low prices. In fact, we guarantee that you and your family will love how Kroger brand products taste, or you get your money back. So next time you're shopping for the family, look for delicious Kroger brand products, because they'll make you all feel like you're winning. Shop now, in-store, or online. Bakers, fresh for everyone.
How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to let your band members in Vegas, Phoenix, and Rhode Island jam like you're all in the same garage. Get Cox Internet powered by fiber with America's fastest download speeds. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, always building better. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.
Now we're joined by Giants offensive lineman, free agent edition, Jermaine Eluemunor. Jermaine, nice to meet you, man. How are you?
I'm amazing now. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. Let's start at the beginning. How did you fall in love with American football, having being someone that grew up just outside of London?
Shoot, watching the Giants, watching them at Wembley Stadium play the Dolphins. You know, I tell everyone I was flicking through the TV trying to find the Arsenal game, and I came up on this game at Wembley Stadium. I was like, what is this? And it was Giants and the Dolphins. It was Mike Strahan, OC. I think the QB for the Dolphins at the time was Chad Pennington, if I'm correct.
I think Cleo Lemon got some time in that game time,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure because I was more focused on the Giants and that helmet, that blue helmet, just that stuck out to me the most. And I think that was the coolest thing ever. And still to this day, I think the Giants helmet is the coolest helmet in the NFL. So the fact that I get to finally put that on is really exciting for me.
And then you moved to New Jersey.
Yeah.
So they end up being your hometown team. Is that the team you rooted for when you came here to play high school football and stuff?
I'm sure some people are going to get a little upset with me, but I actually rooted for two teams. It was the Giants and it was the Eagles. And it was because the Eagles had a really cool helmet at the time, too. I did not know a single thing about them, but that green helmet with, like, the wings was really cool to me back then. But the Giants helmet was number one, I'm just saying.
Very good. Now, in high school, you wrestled, too, right? Mm-hmm. Now, how much did that help you with offensive line play? And a lot of offensive linemen say it really helps.
Yeah, it was huge. Just like center of gravity, balance, core, you know, all those three things are huge as offensive linemen. You know, you got to have balance out there at tackle because you're going against guys that are way quicker than you and more athletic than you. And then at guard also, you got to have a low center of gravity because those guys are shooting out low and quick. And so you got to be able to counter that and get your hands on them quicker. And in wrestling, it's all hand fighting. And I believe that's what offensive line players too. As a tackle, it's all hand fighting. You know, you got to get your hands on them before they get their hands on the you. At guard, you know, it's real quick and you got to be precise and on point every single time, especially against the D tackles in this league and the D tackles we play this year. So all the lessons I learned from wrestling helped me translate that to the field and, you know, become the player I am today.
Talk wrestling, I'm assuming since you were trying to find the Arsenal game, you also played soccer growing up, correct?
Yeah, huge Arsenal fan.
And then the footwork probably applies too, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that helped me too as a tackle because me being as big as I am, you know, people think that I'm more suited to play guard, and that's always been something that's followed me around the league. And when they see me out there on the field playing tackle, it kind of amazes them because, like, a guy as big as you shouldn't be moving like that, and I've never really understood that. I think I'm an athlete, but soccer really helped me with the footwork, and at tackle specifically, you got to have really good feet to counter what the defensive end's doing. Like, we play Michael Parsons twice a year, and he's a freaking hell of a player, but you got to have the feet in order to keep up with him, and it's like a dance partner in a sense. You know, you got to be able to keep up with their movements and match their movements so you can block them.
All right, we'll get to your position flex in a second, but you've mentioned a couple times Eluemunor was your favorite player growing up.
Yep.
You wear number 72. Mm-hmm. You called him already, said, all right, you have permission, you can wear 72 with the Giants. Mm-hmm. How did your relationship with Eluemunor grow? Obviously, you both have connections to England and things like that, but how did you guys develop such a tight relationship?
So the big thing was me being from England, I've always wanted to host a camp over there. And so last year, I was able to go back over there to where I grew up in Camden and have a camp. And then the following day, I went to Efield Badger's camp, and OC was there, and I finally got to meet him. You know, we had talked online a bunch, but it was my first time really getting to meet him and, you know, just see him and the type of person he is. And, you know, he's everything about him is, you love it. You know, he's just such a down-to-earth human being. He only cares about doing what's best for everyone else. And, you know, that's the type of person I want to be like, and I really want to follow in his footsteps. You know, I want to be a great player and then be great off the field as well and help children and, you know, help bring this sport to other countries and really grow the sport internationally. And he's doing an amazing job of that right now in Africa. And he's growing the sport too. And, he's really an ambassador for this game. And that's what I hope to be too. So he's kind of like an idol for me. And I want to follow suit and do exactly what he did.
Now, you've talked about how you were a little late to football in terms of playing, right? So you were drafted 5th round, right?
Yep.
And you were considered a developmental player, not like every college player is not trying to develop when they get to the pros, right? And then you hooked up with Carmen Brasillo in New England. Dante Scarnecchia was there too. Not a bad guy to learn from, by the way.
Not at all.
Talk about how Coach Brasillo, who was now the Giants' offensive line coach, developed you, and what areas of your game specifically do you really think he's helped you improve in your trip through the NFL?
So, I mean, everyone can see my first 5 years in the NFL were kind of iffy. Like, to me, I think they were really mediocre and just terrible. And, I'll be honest about that. I think I sucked those first 5 years. And I got to be around Carm. I got around Carm after my 3rd year in the NFL, if I remember specifically. And, he had just got to the Patriots and I did too. And so our relationships has been building every single season. And for Carm, he's just always believed in me and believed in my potential and believed in what I could do on the field. And when I finally got to Vegas, when I somewhat figured it out, and my first season there was iffy. I got some starts at right guard, but then I eventually lost that position. But then he became the offensive line coach my 2nd year in Vegas, and he just instilled that belief and confidence in me where I could go out there and do what I needed to do. And obviously I had to battle my way up. I started at training camp as a 4th-string right tackle, but he gave me the opportunity and the belief that I could go in and win that starting job, and I eventually did. And during the season, I had to learn every single week, because as a starter, it's completely different than being a backup or a role player. You have to bring your A game every single week, and you have to improve every single week, because if you don't, then the person in front of you is going to either take your job, or the guy who's going against you is going to embarrass you. And so Carm really helped me become a pro and become a starter and learn what it means to be a starter. And then last season too, I feel like I made a huge step as well, just because Carm just every single week just told me how much he believes in me. And I feel like as a player in the NFL, you need someone who believes in you as much as Carm does. And that, I think, as an offensive lineman in general, it just does a lot for you, having the belief of your own line coach to go out there and know that he's going to have your back regardless of what happens, but he's going to put you in the best position to succeed. And that's what Carm is. He's going to put you in the best position to succeed. And he's also going to love you and give you everything you need as an offensive lineman. It's, you give everything to him, he's going to give everything back to you, and he's going to push you towards greatness and push you towards your goals and your potential. And I think that will be huge here, and it's going to be real beneficial.
You talked about the belief part of it, the love part of it, but you also mentioned on the media call the detailed technical part of his coaching that you really liked, that made you better. What are some of those technical detail things that you really think you've refined that help you take those type of big jumps you've talked about in the last 2 years?
Yeah, I think every offensive lineman isn't the same. Every offensive lineman has that one thing about them that makes them stand out, that got them to the NFL. Sure. AT is not like Evan Neal. I'm not like AT. I'm not like Evan Neal. Like, we all have our game. We all have things about us that got us to this position. And I think with Carm, he's real technical, where he knows what you're good at and what you can improve on. And he's going to help you get better at things you're really good at, but then also improve the things you're not good at, whether it's hand placement, whether that's, eye coordination, whether that's just your feet, making your feet more balanced, whether that's your core, whether that's just knowing the guy you're going against. And then to talk about the schematic side of things, he's going to help you know where you're going, know who you're blocking at all times. So when you're out there, you're never second guessing yourself. And a lot of schemes and a lot of offenses are pretty hard in the NFL. Yeah. But to have a guy like Carm who can break it down to a T and make it easier for you takes a lot of weight off your shoulder. And I think that every offensive lineman in that room is going to benefit from that, and having a guy like Carm who can make the game easier for you, so you can go out there and not worry about your job, and you can just go out there and play free. Because at the end of the day, I believe that if you play free as an offensive lineman, you're going to play really well.
You made a great point. I thought that every offensive lineman is a little bit different, and they have something else is what makes them special and what made them good enough to be an NFL player. What part of that game is that for you?
I think just my confidence. I'm really confident in myself, and that comes from me being a rock bottom and dealing with depression and dealing with little things that kind of, on the way to where I'm at now that I had to battle through. And I was able to recover from all of that, from, the coaches who I had around me to, my mental coach that I have now. And so my thing is confidence. There's no one in the NFL that I believe I can't block. I believe I can block whoever, whether that's TJ Watt, whether that's Mike, or whether that's, Cam Haywood, whether that's the D tackles in Philly. Like, I believe I can block anyone. And that is huge as the offensive lineman because you have to have the belief that you can block whoever's in front of you. They're going to be better athletes than you. They may be stronger than you. I feel like I'm stronger than everyone, if I'm being honest, because I put pride in my strength. But there's always going to be someone that's a better athlete than you. And you have to have that belief that you're going to go out there and you're going to do your job and you can do your job to the highest ability and you're going to win. And so me, it's confidence, and it's also just my determination. I'm determined to be the best in my position, and I feel like I've said it a lot, I'm just hitting my prime now, and I'm really excited to see the player I'm going to become in this offense and for this team. And I think the sky's the limit, just not for me, but for everyone on the offensive line and this team in general, and I'm really excited to just be a small part of that.
We talked about refining the technical parts of the game on the field, but based on the answer, it sounds like you spent a lot of time trying to refine the mental approach to the game and the emotional approach to the game. How big of a part of this has that been for you the last couple of years, and how have you kind of gone about that?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in being an NFL offensive lineman is 10% physical, 90% mental. The mental game is such a huge aspect of this game that people don't really, they don't really know. Like, you have to deal with social media, you have to deal with the media, you have to deal with the pressure of being an offensive lineman. And, you can be strong. You can be a crazy athlete. You can run a 4.5, 4.6, 4.7 as a NFL athlete in general. As an offensive lineman, you can run a 4.9, a 5.0, throw up 225 50 times. But if you don't have the mental side of things sorted out, then you're going to go out there and you're not going to play at your highest level and play at the ability you've been blessed with. And so for me, the mental side was always the biggest part because at times I lost confidence in myself. At times I didn't know if I was good enough. At times I just didn't know if I belonged to the NFL. And so this journey for me has been a long one, but it's also been a really rewarding one to see where I've come from to get to this point now to play for this team and this organization, and to be where I'm at mentally is huge for me. And I believe that everyone's struggling with something, but the sooner you realize that and the sooner you can admit that is when you can really take that next step of becoming who you want to become, whether that's off the field, on the field, it doesn't matter. That's just life in general. And I think that's what separates me from a lot of players. It's just that mentally, I feel like I'm untouchable now. I feel like I'm at the best I've ever been mentally because of my mental coach, because of my belief in myself now. And that's why I feel like I'm going to come here and really reach the heights I know I'm capable of reaching. And, like I said, I want to be the best, whether it's a guard, whether it's a tackle. I don't really care. I just want to help the team win. And so whatever position I'm playing, I'm going to play that at the highest level and reach those goals and accolades and everything and help this team take that next step and get back to those winning ways that this franchise is used to having.
Can you take those lessons you learned as a young player and go talk to guys like John Michael Schmitz, guys like Evan Neal, the other young offensive linemen
100%.
On this team that, look, it's one of the toughest. You're playing against the best athletes in the world, and you got to block them one-on-one, going backwards and they're going forwards. It's a really tough job. You're going to fail. How much can you take those lessons and help those other young players deal with some of the challenges that they're going to deal with as young players?
Well, I said it before, Evan Neal getting thrown into the fire as a rookie, switching from left tackle to right tackle is hard. If you watch me my rookie year, I sucked. I was terrible. I was on Limo Joseph's top 100, and I was getting steamrolled into the dirt. Man, I'm always going to remember that because that was my welcome to the NFL moment. And playing as a rookie in this league, in this division, going against the guys he goes against is hard. And even JMS, you're a rookie getting thrown into the fire. As an offensive lineman, it's the hardest position to play as a rookie is offensive line because all the things that are being thrown at you left and right, especially as a center, especially as a tackle, especially as a guard. You have to be able to go in there right away and deal with all the flying bullets right in front of you and be able to, focus on what you need to focus on, even though everywhere else it's a freaking battlefield. It's crazy out there. Everything's just, you see people getting thrown around, people getting ran over.
It's a calm in the storm a little bit, right?
It's crazy. And so you have to be able to separate what you did in college to what you have to do in the NFL now. And I think it's impressive as hell that JMS was able to go out there as a rookie last year as a center. To me, that's all the position on the offensive line because you have four of the guys that are dependent on you to put them in the right position to succeed. You have to be able to make the mic point, call the slides, tell them what they're doing run blocking wise. You have to do so much. There's so much on your plate that you have to be able to put everything aside, take a deep breath and be like, okay, look, Mike's there, we're going here. And there's just so much you have to do. And even with Evan's point, he's going against tremendous talent week in and week out, moving positions. And, for me, I feel like those guys could use a vet in the room who just instills confidence in them is going to tell them, hey, look, I believe in you. I'm here for you. And I was in your position one time. Like I said, my rookie year, I sucked. I sucked my first 5 years in the NFL. It took me until year 6 in the NFL to really figure it out. And that's when I had the breakthrough. And that's my first year as a true starter. And I just finished year 7 and I'm still learning. And so I think a vet presence will be good for the O-line room. And I'm the vet in the room now. I'm only 29 years old, but, now I'm that vet, quote unquote. And so, my goal and my job is to hopefully be a leader in that room and give the guys that confidence that if they listen to me and just believe in me, that I help them on the field. Like, I'm here to help. I'm here to help both of those guys. I'm here to help AT. I'm here to help Runyon. Like, I think that this O-line has a lot of potential, and hopefully I can be a small part of that to help everyone reach that potential. And even if they're at the top of the game, know that, hey, there's still a level you can reach. Like, there's no, like, it's not 0 to 100. Like, there's always level 101, 102, 103. Like, you're never, ever going to be at the top because there's always another level that you can reach. And that's why I truly believe.
All right, final topic. Let's talk about the position flexibility. You've mentioned it a couple times. You've played all 4 positions. Your most common position has been right tackle with, I think, right guard kind of right behind that, right? You spent a lot of time at left tackle, too, for a few games last couple years. Are you more comfortable? Let's do right, left first. More comfortable right side, left side? Does it matter to you at all at this point in your career?
I'm comfortable starting. That's what I care about, starting. That's what I'm comfortable doing. So as long as I'm starting, I don't care what position I'm playing. I just want to be able to help the team win. So right tackle, left guard, right guard, I don't care. I just want to play.
So I guess that answers my second question already, but I'll ask it anyway. So they tell you week 1, we need you to step in and start at right guard, even though you've been the starting right tackle the last 2 years.
There.
You're cool.
I do not care as long as I'm starting.
And you think you're just as good at both spots?
100%. I'm going to get everything I got. I mean, it's my confidence. Like, I'm going to work. If they tell me you're a guard, I'm going to work all offseason and I'm going to become the best guard. And in my mind, I'm going to become the best right guard in the NFL. That's just the type of player I want to be and the type of person I am. I'm always going to believe I can be the best in the NFL. If they tell me, hey, you're a left guard, okay, I'm going to work all offseason. I'm going to be the best left guard in training camp. I'm going to get to the season and I'm going to be the best left guard in the NFL. That's just my belief in myself, and that's what I'm coming into the season believing. I want to be the best player at my position. Whether that's left guard, right tackle, I could care less. I just want to start. And I'm going to put everything into that position and becoming the best. Like, every single year I look at that All-Pro list and I'm like, I know I can be there. I know I can be there. I know I can be there. I look at the Pro Bowl list. I'm like, I know I can do that. I know I can do that. And now it's kind of like we're the franchise where you can really accomplish that and where all the eyes are on you. So why not?
Is that one of the reasons you chose the Giants? Because they told you, look, maybe we can't promise you where you're going to start here, but you're going to play for us, and we have confidence that you can plug in wherever we need you?
The main reason why I chose the Giants is because I see the potential. I remember watching them 2 years ago playing the Vikings during the playoffs, and I remember seeing how fun it looked just out there. Like, I haven't had the most fun in my career, but, I'm here now, and I want to play for a team that's just fun. They're out there, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're just smiling, whooping butt. And that's the type of player I want to be in, type of offense I want to be in. And, at times there were that last year, but obviously there was missing pieces. And, I know Runyon spoke about it, and like he wants to be a part of that missing solution. I hope to be a part of that as well. And I hope that I can come to that room and just, improve everything and just help with everyone around that. But, the biggest part of that too is just all the eyes that the Giants have on them. Like, everything that you do is under a microscope, and everything you do is watched to a T. You can have 60 good plays and one bad play, and all everyone's going to talk about is that one play. And
all over social media the next day.
And I could care less about that because I know what type of player I am. And, my goal here is to reach those heights as an offensive lineman, but also elevate this team too and help them get to where I believe they can be.
All right, final question. Look into the camera. Tell fans, when you're on the field and they're watching you play offensive line, wherever that might be on the line on Sundays, what are you best at? What are you bringing on the field?
Having fun and smiling and energy and confidence. There's no one in the NFL that I believe I can't block. It doesn't matter who it is. I know I can block whoever they put in front of me, and I'm going to show that on Sundays, and I believe I've showed that the last 2 years, and I'm going to keep climbing and keep improving as offensive lineman and be the best at my position, whichever position that is. I could care less. I just want to be out there playing, having fun.
Jermaine, nice to meet you, man. This is a pleasure. Thank you very much. Welcome to Big Blue, man.
I'm happy to be here.
Jermaine Eluemunor, newest member of the New York Giants offensive line.
Are you self-conscious about your smile due to stains? Have you ever wished that you had a whiter and brighter smile? Smile Actives is a safe and affordable alternative to expensive whitening procedures. You simply add Smile Actives gel to your toothpaste every time you brush your teeth, making it the easiest teeth whitening solution out there. In a clinical trial, Smile Active's users reported up to 5 shades whiter on average, all within 7 days. No change to your routine, no extra time. Right now, they are running a buy one, get one offer. Hurry to smileactives.com/iHeart today to receive this special offer with free shipping and handling.
What's up, y'all? Janice Torres here.
And I'm Austin Hankwitz.
We're the hosts of Mind the Business, Small Business Success Stories, a podcast presented by iHeartRadio's Ruby Studios and Intuit QuickBooks. Join us as we speak with small business owners about the tools they use to turn their ideas into success.
From finding that initial spark of entrepreneurship to organizing payments and invoices, we've got you covered. So follow and listen to Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.